Well, Kevin Rudd's first major policy announcement when he reclaimed the top job in June was to change the way the ALP elects its leader in a bid to stop backroom deals forcing leadership coups. For the first time, 30,000 rank and file members have had their say, voting for either Bill Shorten or Anthony Albanese. Those votes have been counted and will today be combined with the votes of Labor MPs. We will know the outcome later this afternoon. One of the main architects of this voting system was Bruce Hawker, Kevin Rudd's long-time confidant and his Chief of Staff during his second term as Prime Minister, and he joins us now. Good morning, Bruce. Thanks for joining us on Meet the Press.
Pleasure, Kath.
Who do you think is going to make the better Labor leader, Anthony Albanese or Bill Shorten?
Well, I think we're very well served by both of them, and I'm not really prepared to say which one I think would be the better. I think Albanese obviously is somebody who's mixed it at the top level with the opposition, now the government, when he was leader in the House for Labor, so he's a very pugnacious performer. I suspect that Bill Shorten's probably a little smoother in his presentation, so you've got two distinct styles. I think Albanese is going to be very committed to further change in the way in which we go about representing the rank and file in the party. I think Bill Shorten will probably have a stronger link to the union movement. So in both of them you have different skills, but both of them are very good spokesmen for the party.
Do you think there's a concern if indeed one person gets the vote of the rank and file, the majority vote, and one gets the vote of the caucus, so the one that gets the rank and file is elected to the leader but doesn't have the majority vote in the caucus? Would that be a problem?
I'm not too worried about that at all. I think that was the way things used to be. This is the way things are going to be in the future, and it's the way it happens overseas. In Britain, France, United States, you have the popular person being elected as the leader as a general rule. We've got a 50-50 system, and I think that's a good start. I think over a period of time, though, we should move further to a full rank and file selection of the leader. But right now, I think we've got a very good start to the democratisation of the Labor Party.
How confident are you that the person who is announced leader this afternoon will be leading the party come the next election?
I'm very confident. I mean, one of the things that they put in place was to provide some certainty there by saying that if the caucus wants to remove the leader, then it will require 60% of them to petition the returning officer or the president to make that happen. So that's a big number for anyone to achieve. So I think that's a good move, though. I think that's the stability that Labor needs.
But the reforms still have to go through National Conference. They could be potentially watered down. Some frontbench Labor MPs have suggested that threshold should be around the 50% mark. Do you think that Kevin Rudd's party reforms will survive National Conference?
I think they will, and I think once this genie's out of the bottle, it's very hard to put it back in. We've seen this with the way in which the party's rank and file have embraced this election. 30,000 people out of a voting base of 44,000 have voted. That's a very high turnout. So I think we're going to find that people are going to be demanding more reform inside the Labor Party rather than less.
Well, just going to the last election, we know you've written a book on it. Your publisher's already excited, and according to the blurb, you list in the book as a factor the treatment of Labor by elements of the Murdoch press, particularly the Courier Mail and the Telegraph. Could it be that you're scapegoating here?
Well, I don't think it's the only reason Labor lost by any stretch of the imagination. And of course, at the end of the day, Labor did reasonably well, particularly in Brisbane, despite the campaign that was led by the Courier Mail. However, what it did tend to do during the campaign was to blow us off course a lot. You know, we would be wanting to talk about what was happening that day in the campaign, rather than that we'd be talking about the makeup lady or something, and what was said or wasn't said. Those sorts of things were
well, from that point of view, you know, maybe taking a leaf out of, say, Bob Hawke's book, do you think that the new Labor leader, no matter who it is, should attempt to mend some fences, you know, with Rupert Murdoch and with News Corp?
Yes, I think so, and I think News Corp should try to mend some fences with Labor too. I don't think any major news outlet should really play the sort of role that elements within News Limited did during that campaign. And I think there were people inside that organisation who were distinctly uncomfortable about it as well. So, yeah, I think it's healthy for everybody to have mutual respect when it comes to these things. And, of course, when you do have such control as News Limited does over the print media in the country, 70%, it's beholden on them as well to make sure that they're very balanced.
Well, some in Labor...
You know Kevin Rudd better than most people. Is he going to stick out this whole term of Parliament?
Well, I believe he will. I mean, I haven't asked him that question, and I don't know for sure. But everything I've seen and heard from him to date suggests that he wants to continue to play a significant role in the party and in the politics of the country. So I think he will stay. I think he will perform the role of an elder statesman rather than a very active participant in the day-to-day activities of the Parliament.
Will he make another tilt for the leadership?
I'd be very, very surprised, and I don't think it's advisable, frankly. I think those days are behind us.
OK, Bruce Hawker, thank you very much for your insights today. We look forward to your book.
Thank you, Kat.
Well, our interview with Palmer United Party leader Clive Palmer is still ahead on Meet the Press. Do stay with us.